How's it going, everyone? Welcome to this one reaction. So basically, this is a video I've been wanting to make for some time now, since I saw this first episode. Since I first saw this episode of It's Always Sunny, because the accuracy of this scene, and given that I've seen other YouTubers react to, like, say, doctors reacting to medical stuff on here, I figure, why not do this? Because this is something I do have experience in, and I could probably provide some explanations about a couple of things. Hold on, let me fix my camera. On here, because oh my god, the accuracy in this is so just on point. But anyways, let's go on. Yeah, 2.5 minute clip, and I could go on about this.
Good afternoon. Fine, and you? Thanks for asking. Listen, my name is Dennis Reynolds, and I'm...
Okay, right off the bat, right there. That is one of those things I've seen and dealt with that so many times, and you immediately know, oh, fuck, this is gonna be a pain in the ass and a hassle, and and yes, I'm commission based, so yeah, I'm not gonna make any money on this, and it's just gonna be a fucking headache, which you can already see on the look on dude's face. He's just like, here we go. I know he's acting, but I recognize that face. I've had that before, so let's continue onward.
I'm on a family plan under the name Frank Reynolds, and I need a new phone, please.
Okay, I can help you with that here.
Great.
Frank Reynolds?
My name's not that long.
Okay, so with that, yes, you would type that much in, because here's the thing with those, with every new interaction, basically we always had to close out and exit out of everything for security reasons, because, you know, there's private information on there, such as your address, and most of all, your social, among other things, such as your family's names, if you put that on there, along with all their phone numbers. Basically, there's a lot of sensitive information in there. So because of that, we often will have to enter in our password first to unlock the screen. Then enter in a password and everything to open the program. Then we gotta log into the program. And then finally, we gotta type in your name and everything on there. And then if there's a PIN or anything. It is annoying, but it's done that way for protection, just to make certain that nothing ever gets oversaw. Not to mention, too, if you ever stepped away, you had to immediately close out the screen. If you didn't, again, issues. So it seems tedious, and trust me, kind of annoying entering those passwords in, but it's done that way for protection, and it's not just his name. He's entering in everything in there to try to get it, so.
So, looks like I can get you a replacement phone here. Can I have it to you by end of day tomorrow?
No, that's not gonna work. I need it today.
Unfortunately.
Okay, so in the terms of this, basically what this would involve is, more than likely, one of the first things we would do in a situation like this is first we'd check to see if you had an upgrade available. If you had an upgrade available, we could get you maybe a new phone that day. It depends on the type of phone, which I'll explain to you in a little bit here. But when it comes down to what I'm guessing James is doing here, it looks like he's looking into an insurance claim, which typically with those insurance claims, you would pay a deductible, and then they would ship the phone directly to you. They wouldn't ship it to the store for legal reasons. Just because, well, at least back when I did in some stores, they'll send it directly to the store. But others, they don't want to deal with that, so they will say it's going to be sent down there, because if it gets sent to the store and it goes missing, the store's held accountable, and then that's another, like, fucking this day and age, like, $1,000 phone now. They used to be, like, $650 when I worked there. That's how the most expensive phone got. Now they're, like, just insane. But, yeah, typically speaking, insurance claim phones are not handled in the store. We normally would help you out with an insurance claim through, more than likely, I'm not going to name any names here, just simply because, you know, so far, all the ones that I've worked for, they have all used ones. I've worked for the yellow, red, and magenta, and let me tell you something, I missed the yellow. Yellow treated me good. The other ones, no, just no, not, just no. Anyways. So, here we go. Next up.
Can I have it to you by end of day tomorrow?
No, that's not gonna work. I need it today.
Unfortunately, the phones are at our warehouse, so.
Again, insurance claim phones. However,
Tell me about those. Because those look like phones.
Those aren't the phones.
Those aren't the phones. Hey, those aren't the phones, guys. So, just so you know, that those are just boxes filled with phones that aren't the phones.
Phones for new customers.
Oh, for new
okay, let me finish around here.
Right, not for old customers, not for the paying customers, the people who've been paying for months and months, for years and years and years and years. Let's punish those people and give the phones that are right there to the new customers.
It's just how...
Okay, so first off, it's not really so much punishment. It's just enticement, it's what every company does. It's an enticement to get new in because of the way contracts are with the government and how much they got paid extra on. Majority of the time, we would have like a phone or two there available for upgrades that anybody can get there, but it wouldn't be top of the line. It would be the cheapest one available. But that is if you had an upgrade available. I'm going to guess from this, more than likely he didn't have an upgrade and once again doing an insurance claim. For the most part, all this is fairly accurate. This is the only thing. He didn't have any other offer to him, but then again, it could be one of those stores because I have worked in stores where they did not want us to sell any inventory out of store unless it was to a new line or an add-a line. If it was an upgrade, no. If you sold a phone out of inventory to an upgrade, you either had to get that shit approved or you had to lie or just not give a shit if you were going to get yelled at. The reason behind that is because not just because new customers pay out more, but they don't want to miss out on a 5-line deal, for somebody just upgrading the phone or somebody just buying the phone outright. Unless they're adding a line to the account. That's just in my experiences. So, it is what it is. And I can tell this frustration here because he's just like, I don't know what you want me to do. These are the rules put in place here. What do you want from me?
The system works.
Hold on.
Those old customers, not for the paying customers, the people who've been paying for months and months, for years and years and years and years. Let's punish those people and give the phones that are right there to the new customers.
It's just how the system works.
Again, I'm not too sure about how the system part there, although I'll be honest, I have had, I'm not going to lie, I've had district managers in there flat out tell me to lie about our inventory, to tell them that we don't have certain items in stock, that we don't have anything worthwhile in there, unless it's for the... Hell, they would tell us to tell customers that we don't have any iPhones we don't have any phones in stock. Like, we wouldn't have certain phones in stock if they were upgrading. And do you know how fucking awkward that would get is if I was working with somebody and they were upgrading their line and I convinced them to order the phone, that it would be shipped out to them, that we would have it either delivered to the store or shipped directly to them. Get them after they just stop getting all pissy with me after telling them what my boss would say, which I always hated, which I have a hard time lying. I just can't, especially when it comes down to situations like that. Customers could always tell. It's why I was always basically very upfront and forward with them, and it's why I typically did well in sales. I treated customers well and treated them with respect, and anyways, but yeah, typically speaking, normally it's comes down to a DM, maybe a regional manager, depending on how money grubbing it is, where they don't want you to sell anything unless it's a new line, because they don't want to take the risk of running out of inventory for that. Plus, also, sometimes they felt like they were not making enough money to where it would be worth it. Like, sometimes with the iPhones on an upgrade, that would make a total of $41, which commission on that was basically $1. No, I'm not making that up. That's how little those phones sold. So, anyways, or that's how little we got paid on those. I'm not sure how the commission structure works now. I got out of that business roughly about, I want to say it's about almost 4 years now. Yeah, it'll be 4 years this next month, since I literally the only job I've ever walked out Although I say walked out loosely, I still gave him my 2-week notice, and I still filled out my 2 weeks. I was just staying a little bit later as a favor to a friend of mine who was the manager for the holidays, and, well, they fired her ass on the 23rd of December, so drove about roughly an hour to the store just to turn in the keys and walk out. Yeah, that's how brutal that world is. Anyways, I'm rambling.
Oh, that system, I've been running up against it all day. Well, I'll tell you what, pal, I am not mad at you, okay? I am mad at the system. Okay, but unfortunately, the system isn't here for me to direct my frustrations at it.
Okay, I'm also going to be honest here. That's probably the most unrealistic thing about this entire situation here. Is having watched this show and seen this fucking psychopath, there is no way, even with his heart condition. And I know this is like basically revealed to be in his imagination, which I'm just saying, there's no way, realistically, Dennis, this character, would be this calm in this situation. I may be at one of those people, like, this would probably be somebody be like, get ready to call the cops, to be honest. But
Let's try something else. What if we add a new line to the Frank Reynolds family plan? Would that make me a new customer?
Yeah, I can do that. I just need
thing is, that is actually something done very commonly when somebody needs a new phone and they don't have anything else available. We've done that a few times. The thing is, too, I'm not sure if it would have showed him pitching that idea, because clearly they're not focused on this dude being a good salesperson, because he's not. Like, he's not even trying. Like, the dude, like, there are plenty of things. But then again, given the way Dennis came in, he literally probably had the look of, ugh, fuck, just get this fucking guy out of here. I don't want to deal with him because he's going to bitch the entire time. So, but ultimately, yeah, this is normally a common solution in this situation. However, companies often don't want them saying that because they consider that fraudulent. Basically, you're adding a line under false pretenses, even if it's the customer's idea to do it. Which, it's like, why the fuck do you care? They're still paying the bill on it. Because what would often happen is sometimes because this happened back in the day where you would get a better deal if it was an entirely new line. But, of course, people don't want to add the additional line and keep paying for it, so they'll add the line, get the better deal, and then cancel the other phone line down the line. Cause a lot of problems with some of these stores, because a lot of customers would just keep doing that, not to mention if it was a fraudulent situation, it just, but point is, that is often a solution that we may do underhanded or make a slight lean towards it, depending on the salesman, depending on how either scummy is or how like he cares about getting in trouble, or whatever the rules of the company are at that time. But yes, this is something I have seen done at all the companies I've worked at. Whether I've done it or not, I plead the fifth.
your PIN.
Right, because the pin's the key to the phone line. Would that make me a new customer?
Yeah, I can do that. I just need your PIN.
Right, because the pin's the key to the phone, and the phone's the key to the car, and everything's been streamlined. Excuse me, please.
I mean, it's a security feature. It's to make certain that you're not just so happen to be somebody with the same exact name. Odds are unlikely, but I mean, honestly, Dennis, I'm just shocked that Frank put you on as an authorized delegate on his account. I would think he, of all people, would make it so that you couldn't do shit on his account. But then again, I'm surprised he's still on the Frank's plan. Frank seems so cheap he wouldn't let any of them be on his plan, but then again, he might be generous and have them all on it. Who knows?
I need to make a call on my watch.
Are you sure this is gonna work? Charlie, diamonds are made under pressure. This is a pressure cooker. We're going to cook diamonds. It's very linear.
So genius.
I just can't believe no one's ever thought of this before. We're gonna be rich,
I
man.
know.
Dennis.
Oh, do not answer it. It's a mental health day test.
It's a test.
Test. In my day, if you wanted to get out of work, you hit yourself with a hammer, or you got gnawed by a shark, or something simple.
No, something
Not
simple.
gonna pick up now. No, why would he? Unreal. Let's try.
You can tell he's James's start.
6969.
Okay, Yeah, that's it.
Once again, dude, terrible salesmanship. You're not even trying. Like, you're like that smart alecky remark there, like, okay, like, that's not even the weirdest password I've seen. I've had somebody have all zeros for their password. I'm dead serious on that. Like, it's not the weirdest one. I guarantee you've dealt with weirder passwords, and it's definitely not the first time you've had to deal with a 6969 pin.
That worked?
You're all set.
Seriously?
That's it?
This is the phone.
It's the phone.
I'm gonna open the box, I'm gonna turn it on, the phone's going to work.
Yep, it's gonna work. It's your phone.
Dude did not deserve the commission on that. He did not try. He did not do anything. All in all, the biggest problem is James is a terrible salesperson. Like, he should not got commission on that. Dennis did all the fucking work. He sold himself on the phone. You didn't do shit. But all in all, everything else on there, I mean, like, from customer coming in super frustrated. The only real thing that's different, the only real thing I would say is no money was exchanged. Even with a new line, you still normally have to pay something unless they had it billed to its account, which normally, it's been a while. I don't recall authorized delegates being able to do that, but then again, they are. But even still, normally taxes, you can't bill that on there unless it's a new system that I don't know. But then again, it's TV, so of course. And clearly he gave him a free phone just to get him the fuck out of there. So, but yeah, when I first saw this, I immediately, as someone who has worked in cell phone retail for over a decade, and seeing that scene, I was just like, man, this is so accurate. It's haunting. So I wanted to do a little bit of a breakdown on it, and I could go on for hours about this scene, but again, 2.5 minute scene, I was able to stretch this out into like fucking 17 minutes, and this is not scripted either. This is just all off the top of my head and everything. So, but yeah, if there are any more scenes like this, please let me know. I want to see them. Like, please direct me to these. Like, if there's more cell phone commission based scenes, like in that one show, Roasted On, which amazing show, fairly accurate about a lot of things in there. But definitely let me know. Give me a hint. Let me know. I want to see them, and maybe I'll react to them if you guys are interested. Laters.